Hey, Brian from GarageMahal. Today I have a Vevor Retractable hose reel. So let's take a look at it and kind of give you a quick look at the box so you have a general idea. It is a little bit heavier than I expected it to be, but let's see what we got. Okay, so on top is the instruction manual. Then we'll tilt this forward so you can kind of see what's on top. So you get some mounting hardware. That'll come in handy. You get a little hose nozzle on there. Take some styrofoam out of the way. And then again, that's that. I think we'll put it upside down to get it out of the box. And look at how beefy this hose reel is. My goodness. Okay. That is a big hose reel. Okay, so this is the mounting bracket. So let's get this out. So that's what your hose reel is going to mount on. So I guess we mount it this way against the building. And then that is your piece that you'll basically put this into, slide that down, and then that'll give you access to get that operational and mounted. So this is your hose end. I'm not going to undo this right yet. Just kind of keep it all together, but we will take this piece off. Okay, so that's that. You got a nice little seal there and a handle. So at the end of the season, you can easily carry this like into your garage. So if you live in an area where it gets cold like I do. So, and then this is your other end of your hose reel. Okay, and this is where your water outlet comes in handy, where you can mount your sprinkler head, I guess you want to call it. Looks like it's got a bunch of different settings. Jet, sensor, cone, fan, shower, angle, flat, flood, mist. So yeah, that does a lot on there. All right, and then it has a controllable stop. So you can usually put this more towards the end, so you can have just like a little bit of hose hanging out there. So you can pull that out. And it looks like it is kind of kink free as well, because it gets that little twist in it rather than kinking up on you. And then that is like kind of like how you stop that. And then to retract it in, you just pull it back, and then that is your hose stop. Will stop it there. So pretty awesome. I'm going to get mounting on this, and then it looks like... Okay, so I kind of have it positioned where I'm going to mount it. I'm going to mount it on this post here. I can mount it on the house, but I have like vinyl siding. I'm not sure 100% what is behind it, and I want to catch a solid beam. So that's why I'm doing it there. I have concrete lower, but it's too low for the reel. So depending on where you're going to mount it, you have two options. And you do have a set of screws in with this that has, so you can mount it into like almost like a plywood backing, concrete, or like a wood beam. So it's all encompassing. So, and I have my faucet right here around the side. So I have plenty of hose to be able to mount that to, so that's a good thing. So what we're gonna do is we are going to kind of size this up and I think I'm gonna mount it right about here. So it gives me some swing clearance over this little flower pot that we have here. And the great thing about it too, is if you pull this out, once this is mounted, you can bring this in for the winter, so you don't have to worry about any freezing issues with that. But anyhow, so let me get some pilot holes drilled real quick. And also makes this mounting so much easier. So basically what I'm gonna do is I took a drill bit that was about half the size of the included bolts, kind of give you an idea. So that's about how far I'm going to drill into the beam, and half the size, so we'll have some good grip on it. So I kind of have it mounted where I'm going to have it here. So I'm just going to drill a quick kind of mark for where we're going to have the bolts. So now I can drill in. And then I can easily mount this. Okay, so that's nice and mounted. We'll remove this pin. Okay, so now we got some good movement on this. We'll disconnect this hose. And then we'll just bring this one into place. Okay. And then make sure it's got the gasket inside, and it comes with a spare one in the kit as well. Tighten it down. Okay, let's turn it on, check for leaks. So turn the pressure all the way up, and then make sure it doesn't leak from here. And a couple seconds to let the water pressure through and the air out. And then those are your different spray nozzles. Pretty cool. All right, let's see how far this pulls out. Okay, so let's pull this hose. See how far it goes. We're gonna go around a corner here. Okay, so I have the hose completely stretched out, and you can tell how far, I even coiled it, how far that goes. Well, that gives me enough room to easily get to my truck that is around the corner. And I'll give you kind of an idea. So that is where the hose is, right around the corner. And I came all the way here. So Makes washing the car and the trucks a lot easier. But anyhow, let's retract this back in and see how that works. Because isn't that like part of the chore of having a hose, is wrapping it up. And then again with this, it's as easy as just basically pull on it, and then I'll start feeding. And you just kind of guide it in. And then that tracks that all the way back in. Nice and easy. Anyway, Brian from GarageMahal, thanks for watching, and be safe out there.